Hey guys, it's Fonzie with Dip Your Car, and the launch of Dip Armor Advanced Top Coat has been an absolute whirlwind. And one of the videos I wanted to get out for you guys as soon as I could was a video just like this. It's one thing to tell you guys all about the crazy benefits of using Dip Armor, and it's another thing to show you Dip Armor in action. That's exactly what we're gonna do today. I'm so excited to show you guys this video. Enjoy. So what we did is we gathered together the most frequently asked questions that we've been receiving about Dip Armor over the past week or so since launch, and we're gonna try to address all of those with you guys today. Like, how scratch resistant is it versus regular Plasti Dip? Is it really gasoline resistant? Does it peel off? Does it feel rubbery like Plasti Dip? So we're gonna address each one of those questions in its own individual segment. Let's get started. So we're in the warehouse now because I thought for a couple of these segments it made more sense to compare not small scale samples like speed shapes or panels, but full scale cars, and we can't fit 2 cars in the booth, so we've got a little bit more space out here. Now, we've got one full car here, which is just regular Plasti Dip. This is Performance Series Plasti Dip. It's that espresso brownish gray that we did a couple videos back. And then over here, we've got a fully dip armored car, which is the Carmine Red with Dip Armor on top. So the first full-scale side-by-side we're gonna show you guys is scratch resistance. Now, we're gonna start first on a regular Plasti Dip car. Now, obviously, this isn't to intentionally shed any bad light on Plasti Dip. We do know that it's vulnerable to surface scratches, especially in extreme conditions, and most likely you're not gonna have somebody gouging at your Plasti Dip surface with a sharp plastic trim tool. But for demonstration purposes, that's what we're gonna use for today. Now, this has multiple surfaces. We'll start first with this kind of flat, sharp side, and then we'll move to the more extreme pick side. So with regular Plasti Dip, with medium pressure, you're gonna start seeing this surface marring come into play. As you get to more of an extreme side and we go a little bit sharper, those scratches are gonna get deeper. And then if you move to the more, the sharper pick, obviously those scratches are gonna get even deeper. Again, this is extreme circumstances. This is probably and hopefully not happening to your car, but Plasti Dip is not the most resistant surface to scratches. So we're over here on the Dip Armor car now. Obviously this has a much harder paint-like surface, so we're expecting some much better scratch resistance. So we're gonna take the same tool, same medium pressure, and this flat side is not scratching the surface. And we'll move to that sharper edge. And we're not getting that same surface marring that we were on the regular Plasti Dip. And then to go more towards the extreme side, that sharp pick edge. Now hopefully, again, you're not having anybody gouge into the side of your car, whether it's dipped or not, with a tool like this, but you really have to put some pressure in to get any type of surface disruption on the Dip Armor. And then just to take it to that extreme level, we're gonna take the M3 key here and see if we can get it to fully scratch. And I can start seeing some indentations there, but I've really got to dig in there to make it scratch. Obviously, Dip Armor is not going to be bulletproof, but it is going to be much, much more resistant to scratching than Plasti Dip by itself. So now we're moving on to gasoline resistance. We've got a regular Plasti Dip car here, and obviously Plasti Dip is not well known for good gasoline resistance. However, we're going to do a nice side-by-side for you guys. We've got some gasoline here, and the best practice when you do get gasoline, hopefully you don't, but if you do get gasoline on your Dip Armor car, is to flush the area thoroughly with water, clean water, as quickly as you can. So we're gonna follow the same practice here on our regular Plasti Dip car. So if you're at the pump and you're filling up and you happen to get a little bit on the surface, you wanna run into your car wherever you can, get a bottle of water as quickly as you can and flush the area. Then if you have a microfiber rag or something, you can give the area a wipe down and try to minimize the damage. Obviously, with Plasti Dip, if there's no Dip Armor on there, the damage is going to be immediate. There's really nothing much you can do there. Once the gasoline touches the surface, because it's a solvent, it reacts with the Plasti Dip and it's going to require a repair. Now let's check the Dip Armor car. Now same thing, but with the Dip Armor car. We're gonna grab our water, flush it off as fast as we can. Wipe it down with a microfiber. Now what you might see with Dip Armor, especially if it's fresh, like this one was sprayed about 4 days ago and hasn't had time to cure, is you may see a shiny outline where the gasoline made contact with the Dip Armor surface. But unlike Plasti Dip, Dip Armor has a trick up its sleeve. It's gonna hold on to those solvents for a little while and show that shiny area, but it's gonna evaporate those solvents over time and go right back to the way that it was. I'm gonna make an arrow here with the yellow tape pointing to exactly where the shiny spot is so we can check up on it in just about an hour. So this is the area where we had our gasoline spill, and if you remember, we had a large shiny area somewhere around here. What we did is we took the car, we brought it outside in the sun, and we let it sit in the sun for just 30 minutes. And in that 30 minutes, that was enough time for all those solvents in that gasoline to evaporate out, and now it's completely indistinguishable. Now obviously, best case scenario, when you get gasoline on a removable coating, there's literally nothing that happens to it at all. In this case, we get a little bit of a shiny area, but no damage, no need for any repairs. It's good as new just after a little bit of exposure in the sun. Huge improvement over what we see with the regular Plasti Dip coatings. Now, one question we're getting a lot is the Dip Armor surface. Does it really feel that different than Plasti Dip? Is it really distinguishable in the way that it feels to the touch versus regular Plasti Dip spray? Now, one way I can demonstrate for you, because you can't be here to actually feel it, is slide these keys across the surface a bunch of times. You can see how it behaves, and then we'll do the same thing on a Plasti Dip surface. Now let's see if we get the same reaction on a Plasti Dip hood. Made it that time. Oh my God. It's just night and day. This is a much softer, grippier surface than the much harder paint-like finish of the Dip Armor. Now, one question that we've had for years is, can you ceramic coat Plasti Dip? And the answer was always no. It's soaked into the Plasti Dip. You never got the benefits of the ceramic coating. But you can ceramic coat Dip Armor. It needs 30 days to cure before you can ceramic coat it. And we actually have a Dip Armor specific ceramic coating formula coming very, very shortly. By the time you watch this video, it may already be out. So just to show you some of the benefits of the 9H ceramic is it really doesn't allow that water to just hover over the surface. You're not going to get those water spots. It's going to be much easier to clean, much more stain resistant. Now, Dip Armor is stain resistant as it is, but the Dip Armor itself with that ceramic coating just takes everything to the next level. So one question we've been getting, of course, is Dip Armor still a peelable coating? Or when you put Dip Armor on Plasti Dip, is it now permanent? Well, of course, it's still a peelable coating. However, there are some differences in how you peel a Dip Armored car versus a regular Plasti Dip car. Now, they start off very similar. With a regular Plasti Dip car, you're going to take your microfiber towel, you're going to work your way around all the edges of the panel to disrupt those edges. But then with Plasti Dip, you're going to try and peel each one of those panels in large sheets. If you think of Plasti Dip as a material on its own, it's very soft, very supple, and very stretchy. You can stretch it really far. But obviously with the Dip Armor on top, it's creating that hard external shell. That hard external shell is giving you that scratch and mar resistance as well as that hard paint-like feel. But there's no way that that external shell is going to be able to stretch as far as Plasti Dip. However, the way we designed Dip Armor is to get softer and more pliable with heat. Very similar to how you see people removing vinyl wraps. They apply heat guns or steam to the vinyl to make it softer, more pliable, and an easier release. Same principle with Dip Armor. With heat, it's going to get softer and more pliable. So the first thing you're going to do, and this is in the user guide, if you're going to peel your Dip Armor car, you go outside and you park it in the sun. You let it start to warm and heat up. As the Dip Armor gets hotter, it gets softer, it gets stretchier, and it's much easier to remove. You're not going to remove Dip Armor unless you either have it out in the sun or you can apply heat to it like a vinyl wrap with a heat gun. So the way you're going to remove dip armor is also looks a lot like vinyl. Instead of going for huge panel sheets at a time like with Plasti Dip, you're going to go all the way around each one of the edges, and then you're going to break a piece, you're going to pull it off in a long strip, you're going to break it again, pull it off in a long strip, and that's how you're going to get your panels done. Now there's also another secret to dip armor. The way we designed it is it's chemical resistant, fuel resistant. However, high percentage isopropyl alcohol will break down dip armor as a surface. We needed to have some kind of safety net in there so that we can get the coating broken down if needed. So when you're getting to those thinner areas, those areas on the car that are thin or small diameter or a little bit tougher to peel, it's very easy to peel if you saturate those areas or saturate those edges first with high percentage isopropyl alcohol, which starts to break down the dip armor, soften it up, and then those areas peel much, much easier. So basic principle of peeling is the same. Focus on the big panels first, work your edges all the way around, and then pull it off in strips one at a time. Smaller areas, use that isopropyl alcohol in a lot of the ways that you would use dip dissolver with regular dip, and you'll get it all cleaned up nice and easy. Again, telling you guys about the benefits of dip armor and actually demonstrating those benefits in real life are two different things. We were very excited to show you guys dip armor in action. Now we're going to keep bringing you guys dip armor content, more application videos, more peeling and removal videos, more tips and tricks to make sure you guys are as comfortable and confident spraying dip armor as possible. And no, dip armor does not need to be on every dipped car in the world. But if you're the type of person who can follow instructions and wants to get the most out of a product, get the most out of their money, then dip armor is untouchable. It completely changes what a dipped car is capable of. Now, if you have any questions at all about dip armor or the entire dipping process, please don't hesitate to contact us. Chat with us directly on DipYourCar.com, or you can call in and speak to us during business hours. We love to talk to you guys about your projects, especially with all the excitement around dip armor in the air. Now, if you want to buy dip armor, there's a link in the description box below to the dip armor kit, and just as importantly, there's also a link to the dip armor user and application guide. Please download and print out that guide, read it front to back before you spray dip armor, especially if it's your first time spraying it. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. It's Fonzie. I will see you on the next video.